When is the best time to go? What boat should we choose? Do I have to hike into or out of the canyon? Hi, I'm Lars, river guide and operations manager for OARS Grand Canyon here in Flagstaff, Arizona. Which Grand Canyon trip is right for you depends on a number of factors, including what type of boat you'd like to ride in. OARS is one of 16 outfitters authorized by the National Park Service to run guided river trips through the Grand Canyon. Most companies run motorized rafting trips, which utilize larger 35-foot boats that seat up to 15 guests, plus a guide, and are propelled by an outboard motor. Motor trips cover more ground in less time and are ideal for many travelers. OARS, on the other hand, specializes in human-powered river trips that include a skilled guide who rows the boat from the center with up to 4 guests per boat. The boats we run are inflatable 18-foot self-bailing or rafts and hard-hulled dories. Both offer a more intimate and organic way to experience the canyon. With fewer guests per trip, a low guest-to-guide ratio, a slower pace, and more time to explore the canyon. With OARS, your boat choice generally comes down to whether you prefer an oar raft or a dory, but there are some subtle differences to consider. Rafts tend to ride on top of the water and have a certain amount of give. In big whitewater, they tend to flex a little and plow through the tops of waves. All the rafts we run are self-bailing, which means all the water that splashes and drains out through the holes between the inflatable floor and the side tubes. The dories are sleek, rigid boats made of fiberglass, wood, and foam. Being a hard-hulled boat, the dory has no give. When a large wave hits, it's lifted, providing a more pronounced up and down ride through the rapids. As a passenger in a dory, you need to be agile enough to quickly shift your weight to the high side of the boat when called upon by the guide, to help punch through the wave and keep the boat from tipping over. You'll also be asked to assist in bailing the water out of the boat using a handheld bucket. I know that sounds a little wild, but dories are awesome. They have such a rich history in the canyon and are just beautiful boats. Which trip? OARS offers 5 to 7 day Upper Canyon trips from Lee's Ferry to Pipe Creek that include sites like Marble Canyon, Redwall Cavern, and Nankoweap. This section of Grand Canyon is a mix of flat water and fun, but more moderate whitewater that culminates with larger rapids like Hance and Sockdolliger and a hike out of the canyon at the end. Alternatively, our 8 to 12 day Lower Canyon trips start with a hike from the South Rim down to Pipe Creek and feature the Grand Canyon's biggest rapids, including Hermit, Granite, and Lava, plus iconic sites like Deer Creek Falls, Matkatameba Canyon, and Havasu Creek. But don't get me wrong, the Lower Canyon has plenty of peaceful floating on flat water as well. Of course, if you can take the time, the most incredible way to experience the Grand Canyon is to take a trip all the way through. By combining the upper and lower sections, you'll cover 187 to 280 miles of the Colorado River and experience many of the wonders the canyon has to offer in 12 to 18 days. No hiking in or out of the canyon required. The minimum age for these trips is 12 years old. For something shorter and more accessible, our 5-day ranch, heli, and raft adventure from Whitmore Wash to Pearce Ferry offers a taste of the canyon, combined with an overnight stay and fun activities at a working cattle ranch with a helicopter ride to the river. This trip is a great option for families with kids as young as 7, first-timers, or anyone short on time. Many OARS guests, especially those who can't commit to 2+ weeks in a remote wilderness setting, choose to break the trip into 2 or 3 smaller sections, like chapters in a book, returning over the years to complete the full canyon experience. The best time to run the Colorado River through Grand Canyon is really a matter of personal preference. Guided commercial trips operate April through October, each season offering unique conditions that can help you narrow down your preferred trip dates. Spring is cooler with blooming wildflowers and, occasionally, clearer water. Summer brings heat and warmer water for swimming, as well as the occasional monsoon. Fall trips offer more mild temps, fewer trips on the water, and great hiking. All trips include optional hiking and exploration off of the river, which is definitely part of the magic. But trips beginning or ending at Pipe Creek require guests to hike in or out of the canyon, nearly 4,500 feet of elevation, with a backpack full of gear, often in very hot conditions. We start hiking early to avoid the hottest part of the day, but if that's not your style, or you're worried about any physical limitations, stick with full canyon or trips that start or finish at Whitmore Wash and include a helicopter ride in or out of the canyon. Once you've figured out what matters most to you, length, style, season, and how active you'd like to be, you'll be ready to find your perfect Grand Canyon adventure. And if you still have questions, our year-round team of adventure consultants is standing by and happy to help. Hope we see you on the river.